Welcome back to the Upside Down with Ruben from the Reboot Tuesday. Today we are talking about all of the monsters, a sort of tier ranking from worst to best, my personal preference. Let me know in the comments below, have I missed any out? Do you think I should have included the humans as some of the enemies? I kind of just wanted to go for the kind of supernatural or physical monster shapes, but I do understand maybe I should have included some of the humans monster elements. I haven't yet, but if I did, who would you include? And give me your rankings down below. If you do like these sort of videos, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and I will chat to you in the comments below. I chat and reply to as many people as I can. Don't forget to have a look at everything we know for Stranger Things Season 5. I'll link it down in the description below. Check out our Patreon, everything that we have going on this channel. But for now, let's jump in. So coming in at number 7, and it's not the least, it's one of my favorites actually, but the least scary because there is this entomology of this particular monster, the Demogorgon. And if you go from its life cycle, the beginning, one of my favorite characters, Dustin, didn't know what it was in the beginning. So I have to go with number 7, Dogtanian. Dogtanian was commonly referred to as Dart, was a creature of originating from the Upside Down that Dustin Henderson temporarily kept as a pet. Dart is from the same species as the original Demogorgon, albeit an adolescent form, referred to as Demodog by Dustin. Which leads me nicely into my number 6, which is the original badass, the Demogorgon. The fully grown version, if you go through the growth spurts or the entomology of a Demogorgon, when you get to the adult Demogorgon, this is the thing that made everybody scared in Stranger Things, the Upside Down. He's also known as the Monster and was the main antagonist of the first season of Stranger Things, alongside Brenna. The Demogorgon was a predatory humanoid creature that entered Hawkins, Indiana, I think it's 1983 November. The creatures originated from the parallel dimensions, the Upside Down. And then 11 was the one that made contact with it and was the one that was able to defeat it in that series. It's season 1, if you remember what she did. She kind of disintegrates it and then pushes herself into the Upside Down at the same time. It was an interesting fight. Pretty scary. If you look at it upside down, reminded me of the Predator, but way worse mouth issues. Check it out. Coming in at number 5 is a new entry and a new monster that was revealed in the Upside Down in season 4. And I think it probably would have reached maybe even the lowest number 7, individually. But because they fly or they live in hordes of hundreds and thousands, when they attack you, they attack like leeches, and they claw into you, and they bite into you, and they suck into you. And so they attack viciously together. Of course, I'm talking about the Demobats. The Demobats are a flying predatory creature originating from the Upside Down. They appear in the 4th season of Stranger Things. They are mostly associated with Vecna and appear to be directly linked to his mind and will. Coming in at number 4 is a monster that is huge. I'm talking about the Mind Flayer. The Mind Flayer is an entity that resides in the parallel dimension known as the Upside Down. He wields supreme control of the Upside Down via a psychic link controlling Demogorgons, tendrils, and the Flayed. With murderous intent, he repeatedly attempts to corrupt both Hawkins and the rest of the world. Now, I found him scary, but he was also not so scary at times because he felt like he was just an entity of cloud until he properly takes shape and attacks one of our main protagonists. And the moment that I thought, oh juice, he is a contender, was when he was forcing himself down Will's mouth, and that's when he realizes he's finding a way to cross over. And the repercussions of that is my next big bad. Coming at number 3 is the Spider Monster. The Spider Monster was the main antagonist of the 3rd season of Stranger Things. It was created from the melted remains of the Flayed to serve as a physical body for the part of the Mind Flayer that has been trapped in Hawkins following the closure of the gate. The monstrosity was essentially an enormous weapon the Mind Flayer had created to kill Eleven and eventually her friends, and therefore eliminate the only one standing in his way from annihilating the human race and taking over the Earth. I think it's really more gross and big and hulky, so when they had to try and fight them, because of the size of how big he was, it was really difficult to fight him. And the idea that he was sucking everybody in, absorbing him, reminded me of like anime films like Legend of the Overfiend, really dark film where a giant penis monster absorbs humans into, you heard me right, into his himself to make himself stronger. And I thought that's why he ranks number 3 for me, because I thought, yeah, that's pretty creepy and it's pretty gross. But at the end of the day, you're just a big monster. Coming in at number 2, we're going back Demogorgon. In fact, this one is the Russian Demogorgon. The Russian Demogorgon is a minor antagonist in the 3rd season and 4th season of Stranger Things. The 6th stage member of the Demogorgon species that was held captive deep within the bowels of a Soviet gulag in Kamchatka, where it was fed prisoners before being moved to where it could massacre prisoners in an arena. Now, the reason why I'm putting this at number 2 is because out of all of the Demogorgons, because of what it's gone through, this Demogorgon, it seems to be more vicious. It's like breeding dogs to fight. It's that much more aggro and angry. It wants to escape. It would kill anything that moves. It had more of a white resemblance, whether that was from testing or just because where it is. It's massive, strong, and just felt like a gladiator monster. And it was much more scary than the original Demogorgon, at least for me. I thought it had so much more presence and threat. It was scary when our characters had to fight them. Even a number of them, it was basically taking on so many, and it was just fine. Until it met our hero with a sword. Coming in at number 1, it is of course Vecna. This guy, the actor who played Vecna, it took 7 hours to put the prosthetic makeup on. Then he was in that costume every day from, I think it was 12 to 15 hours, and took an hour and a half to take off. So it was long days of filming. Over a day he was there. I imagine he would sleep and rest in his chair as the makeup was on. He had a little flap for where he needed to wee, and he can't touch it, so he needed to help weeing. It was quite a rigorous stages of getting this costume on and acting with it. But I'm so glad that he did everything that he did, because we have this amazing monster that has gone from being 1 to 11 seemingly killing him, but actually she forced him into the Upside Down, and he became much more powerful in this thing that he is now. And throughout season 4 we had him messing with people's minds, using the powers that he has, breaking people's bones, and really kind of torturing people and reveling in that. And we get a little bit of history with him of how demented he was in his human form. So now we know that as his monster form, he has that mentality to torture, to be mean, to be evil. So he reflects the same on the outside and the inside. And just the way he looks, the tendrils, the tendrils that he controls, but also just on him, like those big veiny things. Everything feels like a big boily pus with like lots of nasty things. Like he feels like he has exposed flesh everywhere. His sunken eyes. You just look at that and it screams horror, which is why, apart from what he did, it's just looking at him evokes horror, which is why he's at my number 1. Let me know in the comments below, did I miss anything out? Should I have included the human element here as some of the monsters, because Papa was often as evil as the bad guys, or if not worse. Let me know your ranking, how you would rank it. Would you have added a couple of more of those breakdowns of the Demogorgons? Would you want like a different tier for them alone? Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to watch everything that we know about Season 5 video on my channel now. But most of all, until next time, remember, live long Tuesday.